in this segment, I want to talk a little bit about dealing with a chronic illness. It's tough, it's life-changing. Familial hemiplegic migraine is going to be a chronic illness. It's going to be something that is going to change your life. So what happened to me, I went from a super active person, always out, I was really involved in my church, always at somebody's house or at church or doing some kind of service project or, you know, out with my daughter having fun. And my life changed. I could no longer go out and do like a mild hike or just making it through Walmart was a trek. It got so bad that at one point I ended up on a walker. And it was really tough, and I thought that, you know, I thought I was going to be headed towards disability. And for some sufferers of FHM, they do end up on disability. It is that life-changing. If you're going through that, I just want to say something that I learned is give yourself permission to grieve. You have to realize that you're losing the part of you that kind of defines you, and that you need to take time to go ahead and grieve for that. Go ahead and grieve for the loss of you. It's going to feel like, you know, the old you died and now there's this new you that you've got to learn to deal with, and that's exactly what you're going through. So give yourself permission to grieve. Give yourself permission to be sad about that. It's okay. You don't have to put on a happy face, you know, and pretend like this isn't happening. It actually is happening, and you need to learn to adjust to the new normal. So take time to do that and to get yourself adjusted so that you can then adjust your family to your new normal. I know with having small kids, it's really rough. I had FHM when my daughter was young, and it was very difficult to get her to all the things and get her to school and get up in the morning and get dressed and get going. And so just give yourself permission to grieve your old life. The next thing is losing your career. I did lose my career. I was a developer. And I worked for the Red Cross, and I ended up moving up into doing simulations of computer simulations of processes, and I loved it. And it happened to be at the pinnacle of my disease getting worse that I got this opportunity, and I lost the opportunity. I just couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't develop. I didn't have the concentration levels that I'd once had to be able to develop, and I had to make a career change, and I'm now a technical project manager in IT. So it was difficult. It was a very difficult transition to go from you know, this great career and great potential, and then to kind of lose all that and end up you know, not bad off. I love what I do, but you know, it's kind of hard to know that, you know, I once was smart and I'm not as smart as I was, and that's something hard to deal with, and you're gonna have to deal with, you know, kind of a loss of abilities, and it's difficult. Get support. Get people around you that are supportive and that understand what you're going through. There is a group on Facebook called the International Hemiplegic Migraine Foundation. It is a bunch of us from all over the world. Obviously, you're not going to find too many neighbors that have this, so it's nice to have this group of people all around the world that you can talk to about your disease, and they can help you with suggestions on medications, where to go for doctors, how to talk to doctors, how to get diagnosed, all different kinds of things. They're all full of great information and also great support when you're just having a really bad day and you feel like no one understands what you're going through. This is a wonderful group of people to get together with and just learn about your disease and get the support you need to get the help that you need. The other thing I would say is ask for help. Don't sit there and silently suffer. Get out. You're going to get discouraged throughout the process. It's going to be discouraging, but just buck up and go out and get the help that you need, and know that people want to help you. They just need to know how. So be willing to have them teach them how they can help you, and teach your family how they can help you, teach your doctors how they can help you, teach your friends how they can help you. It's going to be difficult because your life's going to change and you're going to become less active and you're going to lose some friends, and that's just kind of a reality that you have to deal with. But don't be afraid to ask for help and get out there and you know, still try to live a life, even though your life is changing. Another thing I want to suggest about this is to do less. Give yourself permission to do less. Sit down and figure out what's really important in life. What are the events that I really want to show up for? When I want to be there for my children, what do I want to be there for? When I want to be there for my spouse, what do I want to be there for? Like, what's really important and what can I let go? And give yourself permission to let go of some of those things that you just can't do. You can't make the Thanksgiving meal for the family of, 30. It's not going to happen anymore. You're going to have to let somebody else do that for you. But what can you do? I can make one thing, I can bring napkins even if I'm really, really bad, off. Just find out what you can do and give yourself permission that your life isn't going to be as busy as it was, and go ahead and slow down and take that rest and determine what you want to do. The other thing that I say that I have given myself a motto is when the days get tough is get up and show up. So for my daughter, when things were getting tough, I still got up every morning and drove her to school and showed up for every event that I needed to show up for, no matter how tough it was. I just determined I'm going to get up and I'm going to show up. And that it's difficult when you're dealing with a disease, and you're going to have to make all kinds of concessions here and there to do this, but determine what's important for you and determine to be there. Another thing that you can do is find ways to serve others. That it's going to change because you can't go out and do what you did. You can't go clean someone's house or mow their lawn, or those are going to be things that are just too overwhelming for you. But you can give someone else some support on the website, for example, or there are things you can do. There are ways you can serve. There are ways that the words that you have to say and the encouragement that you have can really make a difference in someone's life. So don't think that your opportunities to serve others and to be of service to others are gone. They're just different. So find different ways to serve and get out there and make a difference. I know I've become way more politically active because that's something I can do from home on my couch than I would have been had I not had this disease. Also, there's also some other anecdotal things that have helped me along the way. I have used reflexology and massaging my feet. It actually works really well. It's not a cure-all. It's not going to fix your headaches or anything, but it can make you feel better. So massage your feet, try to do, relaxation things, try not to overexert yourself, try to take some time out for yourself, and really try to get yourself the rest that you need. I can tell you, for me, I make it a goal to go to church once a month. It is that bad. The rest of the time, I've learned that the important thing for me is that I have to work. I have a lot of people counting on me. I have a mother who's very ill and living with me. She has a terminal illness. I have a brother who's living with me with Asperger's. I have a daughter who's in college, and I'm kind of the main support for that family. The most important thing for me to do is to show up to work. I have to keep my job. And I have lost jobs over my disease. So I've limited myself. My goal is once a month I go to church, and the rest of the time, I watch something on TV. I'm lucky my church has some television stations where I can still feel connected to the church without actually having to go. But I take that time for myself and relax and rest so that I can make it through the next week of work. And so, that is how it's been life-changing for me. Another thing that you can do is, I would say, always have a sense of humor about your disease. There are some hilarious things that go on with familial hemiplegic migraine. One of them is try to go to the emergency room with slurred speech and a slumped face and say familial hemiplegic migraine. It's very difficult. I don't know who named this disease, but they weren't really thinking this through when they named it. It's very difficult to identify your disease, when you can hardly speak. If they could just give us like letters, that would be good. that would be awesome. Another thing is a lot of us on the chat room seem to have found that we suffer from a lot of butt numbness. We have no idea why, but our butts are numb a lot, and so that can be kind of funny. I actually called someone for help one day. I was having slurred speech and a slumped face, and I was trying to call someone for help, and they thought I was drunk and hung up on me and told everyone in my neighborhood that I was drunk, but I wasn't drunk. I was suffering from FHM. So the next time you have a strange call from one of your friends who doesn't seem like they would be drunk, they probably aren't. They might have FHM. Just give them the benefit of the doubt. And also with the slumped face and the slurred speech, you don't really need a Halloween costume. You're good. You're set for Halloween. So learn to have a sense of humor about your disease. Learn to have fun in life. Learn that even though your life has changed, you will be blessed to have learned so much more about others' pain. Others will be willing to share what's going on in their life with you, and you'll find that there's nobody that's not suffering from something. And you'll learn, actually, I promise you, to be grateful for your disease. It doesn't seem like it in the beginning. It doesn't seem like it the first 5 years. But later on, you really will be grateful for your disease, because it really does focus you in on what's important in life and what's not. And it really lets you see other people and see their pain and help them, and it gives you a much better community of people around you than may have been around you had you not had the disease. So finally, just want to give you a word of encouragement about the journey that you're going through if you're trying to get diagnosed with FHM, or even if you do have FHM. It's a long process. Be patient with yourself, be patient with those around you, be patient with your doctors. You know, give yourself that room to be sad about your life, to grieve over your life, and go through the changes that you need to. I promise you that you'll come out on the other end grateful for your disease. I have. It's been an amazing journey. It's taught me a lot about myself, about my own strengths. It's taught me a lot about compassion, and you'll find that people who are going through really difficult things are willing to talk to you, because you're going to understand what they've gone through. And you know, just, it's going to, I promise you that it will get better. I promise you that you will come to be grateful for your disease and for what it has taught you about patience and love and sacrifice and serving others, and realizing others are going through just as many difficult things as you're going through, even though it's not the disease that you have. So keep hoping, keep knowing that you're gonna come to the end of it. You're gonna get a diagnosis. You're gonna get what you need from doctors. Don't get discouraged. You're gonna make it. So.